Okay, now let's begin with today's topic. That is what we have done yesterday. I believe you are still in the memory of that. Yesterday we have completed with GSTR 9 and this is now GSTR 9C. We were yesterday we had completed entirely the GSTR 9, how it is required to be filed, what exactly the information you have to input into that. We have even started with GSTR 9C and we have done with the reconciliation of the output liability as per what you have filed in your GSTR 3B as compared to your books. Because we have done the reconciliation of 1 and 3B in GSTR 9 and now the data is as per 3B and now we are comparing the data as per 3B with books in 9C. I've even explained in 9C if there are any differences, how do you account it? How do you show it? You have to give the reasons, you have to fill up the form, you have, if there is any liability to be paid, how you can pay it through DRC 03. So let's move forward in that sheet only. Okay, so we have done 0.5, then 0.6 we have done, 0.7 also we have done yesterday, completed. Then it is 0.8. Now come to 0.3. What is required to be done here? Over here, you have to give the bifurcation of your sales in terms of the different rates. I'll show you. So this is exactly your, we are on 0.3 and 9. So you have output liability in terms of sales and RCM. These two output liabilities are there. You have to bifurcate in terms of the different rates applicable, be it 1%, be it 5%, 12%, 18%, and you need what all data? You need taxable value, IGST, CGST, SGST, and cess. Whatever is the value, your total output liability for the financial year, you have to declare in this particular sheet. So let's say if it is 5%, I have taken my example only, I'm taking the taxable value was lakh rupees only, in which I have paid 9,000 CGST and 9,000 SGST. Okay. Then I had certain RCM, I had paid tax on RCM as well. I'll declare it. Then if during the year you have paid any interest, you need to mention it here. If you have paid any late fee, you're required to mention it here, penalty, others. Whatever payments you have made. Okay, I'm increasing the font size. Now visible, better visible. So whatever is the payments you have made during the financial year 2021, not exactly the payments, whatever is your liability for financial year 2021. Now, so liability for financial year 2021, you have to declare it here. It might be possible you have paid it in financial year 2021, or it may be a possible scenario that you have paid it in April 21 to September 21 next year. Both possibilities are there, but you have to declare this liability irrespective of the fact when you have paid. So when you will declare over here your total liability, this is going to take the figure of your table 9. What is appearing in table 9? Let's see, let's confirm it as well. This is column number 9Q. So if I'll go on read me, 9Q says the amount payable as declared in table 9 of the annual return shall be declared here. Payable. If you remember, when we were doing table 9, I have shown you in table 9 there were two columns. One was like this and one was like this, and I told you can't change this column. You can't change it because it's already filled up from your GSTR-3B. However, this column you can change. And this was your amount payable column. So whatever data you are going to feed in GSTR-9 over here will appear in this particular cell. Over here. It will appear here. So what you have paid through 3B will exactly appear here. There might be differences on account of, let's suppose, your liability during the financial year 2021, if you have paid it in April 21 to September 21. So it is not covered in GSTR-9 over here. There would be some values appearing in unreconciled payments. So you will go on the next sheet. Again, you have an area where you have space to declare the reasons why it was not paid and then how it was paid. So let's suppose if my liability was paid in the month of May 21, I'll declare my GST, the GST liability as follows: CGST itna, IGST itna, on a taxable value of rupees this, have been paid while filing the GSTR-3B for the month of May 21. This is one area where the difference can appear. There is one more thing, how the differences can appear is that it might be during the financial year 2021, you have paid GST for the previous year, that is for financial year 1920. It can also appear that there are differences on account of that. So you will go on the next sheet and declare the differences. So that is why whenever you make a reconciliation sheet, make it in proper formatting, do clarify everything so that at the end, when I'm going to upload my GSTR-9C, I will paste my reconciliation sheet as well to give more clarity to the department. You got my point regarding the bifurcations which are required to be given here? And yesterday, if you people remember in the previous sheet as well, I've told you whenever there are unreconciled differences and you have a liability to pay, before filing your annual returns, ask your client to file it through DRC-03, make the payments, and then in the reason column, you can write that this was the liability which was required to be paid, and we have paid it through DRC-03, wide acknowledgement number this, dated this, and this is the amount we have paid along with interest. So it's a voluntary payment then it becomes. Okay, let's move forward. Then it talks about, so this is the column, let's suppose your client has not paid the amount up to the filing of the annual return through DRC-03. Now as an auditor, your liability becomes that you will declare here that as per my opinion, this is the additional liability which the assessee is required to pay over here. So you will mention what exactly is the taxable amount, what is the interest, taxes, and you will declare it here and you will ask the client after your annual return, you will pay it. So if you people remember while filing the DRC-03, when I've explained and you have seen the reasons that why you are required to file DRC-03. So there were two options. One was reconciliation and one was annual return. So if you say reconciliation, it means that on your own, when you reconcile your books of accounts, you determine that this is a liability and you will pay taxes over there. But if you don't pay it over there and after filing of your annual return, like in 9C, if I declare this is the additional amount payable, so after that, if you go ahead with payment of taxes, then you will select the option annual return. That on account of my annual return filed and the query is raised, I am making the payment. So both are different. One is suo motu and one is after the instruction given by the auditor on account of reconciliation. So I'll declare it here. Then it starts with the reconciliation of your ITC. So now we are done with the output reconciliation. Now my output is exactly matching with the books. If I have paid something less, I am going to make the payment through that. And if in the reconciliation, it appears the opposite side that you have made an extra payment. So when you have made the extra payment and you have not adjusted in the following 3 Bs, that is up to September 21, you can go ahead and file the refund application for that amount's refund. One thing that is applicable in case of refunds is that they don't provide you refunds for less than 10,000 rupees. So if your amount is more than 10,000, then only file your refund applications. In depth, we are going to do after this class, after this completion of topic, how to file the refund things. So now moving forward, it is your ITC. How do you provide with the details of the ITC? So very first column, table 12 of 9C, it says the ITC as per your books. It has to be derived from the books of accounts. Now this is something I would say the most difficult value to arrive at. It depends upon the kind of software the client is using, kind of ERP they have. If it is Tally, it is quite easy to take out the data. Whatever is debited into their input credit ledger is the ITC that they have booked as per their books of accounts. But many people, in my practical experience, I'm telling, there are many ERPs who have their own limitations. They don't provide with the exact data what is availed as per the books. So this you require your clients to work upon and to provide you with the exact data. From Tally, I believe if most people are using Tally, you are creating your ITC input credit ledger. So whatever is debited, take the totals. Then you will first mention what is the ITC taken as per the annual financial statement, your books. And this also again, it mentions that it has to be for the state or UT. You have to provide this figure per GSTIN basis, not the total, not the consolidated figures. Then you will add ITC booked in previous financial year, but booked in current financial year. So this is what. So first is your ITC as per books of accounts. Then you will add ITC for financial year 1920 taken in financial year 2021. क्योंकि ये 3B में तो 2021 में दिख रहा होगा ना, so that is why I'm going to add that ITC and I'm going to subtract ITC for financial year 2021 taken in financial year 21-22. So then I'm going to get the figure that is ITC as per 3B, or you can say it is table 7J. Let's check that as well. So this is your column 12E, ITC claimed in annual return. So 12E, what figures 12E is taking? I'll see 12E is taking figure of net ITC available for utilization as declared in table 7J. So whatever you have mentioned in table 7J will appear here. Table 7J, just make, that is why I was saying that while filing the GSTR-9, there are few tables you need to remember what exactly the data they have covered, because you have to feed it in your GSTR-9C. You will mention that again, there might be certain differences. Whatever the unreconciled differences are there, you need to mention it here, why those differences have arise. See what happened, there are practical reasons for differences to arrive, like it might be possible that, practically talking, last year this has happened. So what happened last year? Last year all your audit date were extended, right? The audit date was happening in what? It was extended up to November and even January, February. But for the GST adjustment, the date was till September 20. So if the audits are happening on a later stage for a person, in the audit only we generally determine what is the excess ITC taken or what is the reversal of ITC required to be done for the assessee. So if till September 30, I have not done the reversal or I have not taken the excess ITC, so over here that unreconciled differences will arise. If you have not taken the ITC, it's a sheer loss. You need to write it off, because after September 30, you cannot take the ITC. But for the reversal of ITC, what I can do, I can file a DRC-03 with payment of taxes along with interest applicable. I'll do that. Okay. So Satyanji is asking what is table 7J. So yesterday we have downloaded the summary sheets from the GSTR-9. Over there I'll show you what is your table 7J. Okay, since in my particular portal there was nothing in table 7, so that is why it has not shown it. It was vacant. I need to log in then if you want to see table 7. Just give me a minute, I'll do that. I'm going there. Oh, see, if you can see that a difference, till yesterday there was not a 9C column over there. Today it is appearing. So the updation made by the GST portal, I'll take you through this also. So in the 9, if you want to see it, what was table 7J? So this was your table 6 for ITC, then table 7. So table 7J, it is a net ITC available. So whatever you have mentioned in table 6, then deducting whatever you have reversed, the net ITC available is the figure of table 7J. It covers all the taxes on import of goods, import of services, your IST, everything it is covering. Okay. So then you will declare that this is the ITC as per books of accounts, plus and minus, then reconcile it with your GSTR-9 figure. If matching, very good enough. If not matching, in the next sheet, please provide the reasons why there are differences. Okay. And if you want to pay similar, the same scenario as in the case of output liability, if you want to pay it on your own beforehand, you can pay it and then you can mention that I have made the payment through DRC-03. And if the person is not making the payment, you can declare. So in the next particular sheet, this is the sheet where you have an option, point 16. If you want to tell that assessee has done certain mistakes and this is the tax payable, you can declare it here and then the assessee can file DRC-03 and make the payments. So for both the output and for the input, the IT, this GSTR-9C provides with the facility. Then in this point 14, wait a minute. So in the point 14, this table, this is optional in 9C. Till last year, it was made optional. If you want to fill it, you can fill it. If you don't want to, you can just leave it. Or this is quite a difficult table to be filled in because now you have to give a bifurcation of all the ITC that you are taking in terms of what head you have taken the ITC. Then it is required to be mentioned the value, the taxable value, then the total amount of ITC available, and what is the amount of ITC for which you were eligible to avail. Head-wise bifurcation is required to be given. To be very frank, this is something really difficult to be maintained until now. The assessees and the clients don't help you in that. So if it is optional and the data is huge, you can leave it. But if it is a small assessee and small data and you have the bifurcations available with you, then you can fill it up. It's up to you. The difference between amount of total ITC and amount of eligible ITC. So there may be certain expenditures, like for example, I would say capital goods is mentioned here. So might be I have purchased capital goods of 1 crore during the financial year. So total amount of ITC available on capital goods is 18 lakhs. But out of that 1 crore capital good, I have purchased a car worth rupees 20 lakhs. Now the ITC on that car is not available to me. So what I'll mention, capital goods 1 crore, ITC available 18 lakhs, and then ITC ineligible ITC would become whatever is the figure coming on 20 lakhs. Let's suppose it is 3.6 lakhs. Then it is the ITC ineligible. Over here I will mention amount of eligible ITC. So it would be 18 lakhs minus 3.6 lakhs. So the total amount of eligible ITC will come here, and this will again contain the figures of table 7J. Again, 7J figures are going to be there and it has to match. If not matching, so whatever reasons you are going to mention in this, similar reasons are going to come in this next point 15. Okay. Once you are done with this, then auditor's recommendation, whatever due to non-reconciliation you want the payments to be done, you will declare it here, and accordingly the assessee can make the payments. Then I believe this page will be changing in the new GSTR 9C because it talks about the certification part, and it mentions that I report the audit of books of accounts and the financial statements of this having address this was conducted by this, the statutory auditor. You need to give here the information of the statutory auditor. And then we are saying that I have annexed the audit report of balance sheet for the period profit and loss account, then cash flow statement. And this is my observation. If you want to say the observations, there are observations that has he maintained books of accounts or not maintained books of accounts. Then in my opinion and to the best of my knowledge, they have maintained a true and fair view. And now this is the area for mentioning the qualifications. That this is my qualification. So you have qualifications that documents not maintained or any observation or qualification if you will write. Then in the next column, you will describe your observation and qualification. But now this point will be eliminated as it is not required to be certified by a auditor. Earlier, we used to mention our auditor details over here, the address, my name and everything. An auditor is required. Whatever was happening in the previous scenario, whenever auditor is certifying anything, you need to generate your UDIN number as well. Mandate. Right? It is a certification thing. So let's check on the portal if there is anything different. For me, it also I'm logging it for the first time to see the new GSTR 9C if there is any difference. Let's check it out. Initiate filing. Okay. So what it is saying that I cannot go to 9C column till the time I have not filed my GSTR 9. To prepare and file form GSTR 9C, filing of GSTR 9 is mandatory. So it is not taking me on that particular column. And if I'll say prepare online, prepare offline. So people, what exactly is happening? Still, this particular portal is under progress. It's just that they have created a tab on my sheet. Agreed. Till the time I don't file my GSTR 9, I cannot file my GSTR 9C. So that is why for uploading of GSTR 9C, we work on the Excel utility. Just remember, don't do that blunder that once you are done with filing of your GSTR 9, then you start working on your 9C, because what happens is that when you actually work on your GSTR 9C, more differences arise. You determine that these are the more differences which we have not accounted for, because taking 1 to 3B and then 3B to books, this is 2 level of reconciliation happening and you might create errors. So prepare both the returns simultaneously. That is why this Excel utility will come into scenario. Once you are done with all the differences accounted for and everything, then only you can go ahead and file your GSTR 9. Once you are done with your GSTR 9 filing, your utility is complete. Then if you will come here and click on the GSTR 9C offline utility, it is going to show you an area to upload the things. Let me show it to you. I have taken the screenshots. I'll explain it from there. Okay. Just let me show you. Okay, so this is exactly the screen, what appears. So once you click on initiate filing, it will show you these particular steps. That these are the area: upload the balance sheet, your profit and loss statement and expenditure account, any other document, you can upload it here. So this is the screen that appears. If you want to make a payment for additional liability as by auditor, upon the return you want to make the payment, this is the area which you can which you can click upon and make the payments. So over here you would be uploading the data. The Excel file will be used to generate a JSON file. So as you people know how to do that, so once you will go over here, it's not showing me right now, you will go prepare offline. It will give you a link, as in the case of GSTR-1 and 3B I've already shown. It gives you an option to upload the JSON file. You will go there, upload your JSON file, it would be uploaded automatically, and then this screen would appear and you will attach your balance sheet, P&L account and every other statement. Also, what used to happen previously, when the auditor was required to sign your GSTR-9C, so while uploading the JSON file for GSTR-9C, the system used to ask, please affix your auditor signature while uploading JSON. So we have to affix auditor signature at the time of uploading the JSON file, and the assessee signatures were uploaded when everything was attached, balance sheet, P&L and everything, verification, and the last step was the affixation of the digital signature of the client. So this is how it was signed by two people, the auditor and the assessee himself. But going forward, when it will not be requiring my chartered accountant certification, then I believe it would be a direct thing happening. First, we will be uploading it through JSON and then directly signature over here. The second signature won't be required, but I'm still not sure. Let's see what the portal comes out with. Let's check one more thing, if they have provided with a new utility 9C. So the Excel based utility is designed for financial years prior to 2021 in offline mode. So this is still for financial year 2021. Taxpayer can use to prepare the self-certified GSTR-9C statement in offline mode. The utility can be downloaded from this tool. Let's see if they have uploaded a new utility. So this is how we download the utilities and see have come out with something new or not. I believe it won't open files with same name. It gave me an error message. So I'm opening the new file. So, okay, this is a new utility. If you can see, it has given readme for financial year 17, 18, 19, 20. If you can people see, this is readme for financial year 2021. So this is a new utility that has been made available. Obviously, there must be changes in the last particular sheet. Let's see what are the changes. It's the same, what we have done. No changes, same, it's two same. So certification in cases where reconciliation statement is drawn up by the person who has conducted the audit. This is now different. Part B2. So they are not self-certification, they haven't given till yet. No, they haven't given for the self-certification thing settled by the taxpayer. See, to be very frank, people, I do have to go through it entirely and see that how the certification thing will happen, because these 2 pages are still meant for the auditor. Any person, be it the statutory auditor or be it another person. So it is not required to be filled in case of the new SSE. So might be we are not going to fill that 2 sheets and going to directly file up the JSON file. So ASAP, I'll get that thing. So I'll upload it on the, I'll ask the tax guru people to give you a mail on that with the 9C thing, because this is something which has come today only. So we can issue a mail once I'm done with doing the analysis of this sheet. Okay. So are we good to go enough? Go ahead with 9 and 9C. I hope it makes sense. It is clear to all of you. Yes, people, I need some responses. I know you people have a lot of doubts in your mind regarding 9 and 9C. It appears complicated. Till the time you won't go and do it on your own, you need to try this. Start with a very small file, your own files. Once you will be doing the reconciliation, I think you will get that why exactly there is an issue, what are the issue areas, what we have not paid in terms of taxes or availed excess ITC. Also, one more suggestion to all of you. While doing this reconciliation, also ask your client to do one more reconciliation for you. Ask your client, generally don't do it on your own. And if you are doing it on your own, my recommendation, please charge extra for that from your clients. So do one more Reco, that is your Reco of books, ITC and ITC as per your 2A or 2B. Do this reconciliation as well. This is a very important reconciliation, and I ask my clients to do it quarterly. This is a quarterly exercise. So they need to determine that what exactly is the ITC which is not floating to them. So they can follow back their vendors that you have not uploaded your GSTR-1 or wrong GSTR-1 has been uploaded, because of which I'm not getting the ITC. So this is one PPT as well, which I have drafted for you, that how you need to go ahead with the reconciliation. So even your GST portal provides you with the reconciliation tool. So we'll see that GSTR-2B provides eligible and ineligible ITC for each month, similar to 2A, but remains constant or unchanged for a period. So GSTR-2B का benefit ये होता है कि वो 11 तारीख on the 11th of every month, it becomes constant. Whatever is happening beyond 11th month, that is the due date of filing of GSTR-1, will appear in my 2B for the next month. However, GSTR-2A is dynamic, so I don't trust that particular document now. It is GSTR-2B on which I'm going to rely. The statement will clearly show document-wise details of ITC eligibility. ITC information will be covered from the filing date of GSTR-1 for the preceding month up to the date of filing of GSTR-1 of the current month. Reshma is asking that what is the difference between 2A and 2B? So what exactly happens is that there is 2A and 2B. Both are updated from what? GSTR-1 filed by your vendors. It gets, both the statement gets updated by this GSTR-1 only filed by your vendors. Now the due date for filing GSTR-1 is 11th of the next month. So what will happen now? Myself, I have to file my 3B by 20th. So 2B will take the data up to 11th of the month. Whatever has been filed by the vendor up to the 11th of the month will be available in this GSTR-2B. Now it will become a static document after that. For the said particular month, it is not going to change. It will have the figures updated up to 11th of the month. But 2A is a dynamic document. So even if anyone is uploading their GSTR-1 on 12th or 13th or 14th, whenever they are uploading, so whenever I'm going to download 2A, let's suppose I'm going to download my 2A on 15th of the month, so it will have data for these three also. So it is a dynamic document. It is not static. It keeps on updating every day depending upon the changes made by your vendors. But 2A is a static document. It's legally valid document because even the law says that what ITC you are eligible to take, the ITC as available on the 11th of the following month. Satyan ji, it is going to impact my 3B a lot. First thing, because of this 2B only, now vendors are forced file your returns by 11th. There should be no delay in filing of the return. Second, your 3B, if you have seen your 3B, it automatically takes the data in ITC column as per 2B. If you have noticed the 3B, now currently for last 5-6 months it is happening, it takes the data, whatever is there in your 2B, it does not take the data as per your 2A. And if you go and manually want to interfere and you want to make the changes, it will be then read that you have made the changes beyond 20%. So 2B is going to impact your return a lot, and also 2B is most important for rule 36.4. 36.4 I have already discussed with you, the reconciled and unreconciled ITC, eligible and ineligible ITC, how you need to work upon 5%, 10%, 20%, which was happening in the future. Currently it is 5%. So rule 36.4 entirely dependent upon 2B. So you must do the reconciliation of your books with your 2B every quarter, minimum every quarter. If it is happening monthly, it's the best thing that is happening, but quarterly it should be happening. And I ask my clients, you are eligible to raise debit notes to your vendors for the interest element, for the GST element if they are not filing their returns on time. Why my assessee should bear that ITC loss? Because it is going to hit their working capital requirements. So that is why I told you that vendors are forced to file their returns by 11, because now the people are putting a stay on their payments. Especially the GST is not paid to the people if they are not filing their GSTR-1 on time. So Alaguji, you are asking if the data is uploaded in Excel file for GSTR-3B, whether it can be taken as per books or as per GSTR-2B. Alaguji, can you clarify your question more? Okay, you are talking about the sheet that I have provided you extra yesterday. So in my yesterday sheet, you are uploading the data as per your books. What is available ITC as per books. Then in one more sheet, you are required to make a reconciliation. What is the eligible ITC? Obviously, so in that purchase sheet, now you have information ITC as per books. You have the totals. Now in one more sheet, I have told you already 36.4. So what you will do, you will tell ITC as per 36.4, that is your 2B. You will provide it totals. Let's suppose these totals are 2 lakh, whereas these totals are 1.50 lakhs. Then you will add 5% eligible ITC. So 5% comes out to 6 7,500. So this is the ITC you are eligible to take. So this is your reconciled ITC. And then unreconciled ITC is deduct 2 lakh minus 157,500. I think the figure will come to 42,500. So this is unreconciled ITC. This will still lie in your credit ledgers. You will take only this ITC. So this is how you need to prepare this reconciliation statement as well in your Excel. You need to maintain that, and in your 3B file you will be taking this figure 157,500 in that summary sheet that I've provided to you. It will be 157,500, not 2 lakhs. Any specific format for Reco? See, sir, if you will go through that, this is the PPT I was taking to you. So return dashboard. This is your auto drafted ITC statement. So you always get your 2B statement in your return dashboard as well. You can download it. So even the GST portal is providing with you for a tool of ITC matching tool. So if you'll go to that auto drafted ITC statement, you can download it. If the total number of documents exceed 1,000, you need to use the advanced search option or using the Excel and JSON format from the GSTR to be download page. If you have to only view, provided there are less than 1,000 transactions, you can view it. If more than 1,000, then you have to download it. If you'll go for the download data for 2B, you will download the JSON file as shown in the PPT as well. You can also download the Excel file. So over here, it is providing you both the options, either Excel or JSON file. Then in the download section where the multiple offline tools have been provided to you, there is a matching offline tool as well. Let me take you on the portal and show it to you. So this is the offline tool. You can download it from here. I'll show you the tool as well. Wait a minute. So meanwhile, if I go to my, it's logged out. Okay. So we'll go for your return dashboard. So over here, I can see my auto drafted ITC statement for the month of GSTR 2B. I don't think so. I have any invoices ITC related to this. So it is saying it should be available. हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है. I have nothing. I have no ITC. You have seen in my GSTR 9 as well. So it is showing that since there is nothing, we are not going to provide you with any 2B. So you can just leave it. So nothing is showing to me. Should I show you another login where the ITC would be there? Let me take you. It's also not getting downloaded. What is happening? Wait, let me log in my another ID. So let me July if I can. see for July. Okay, the date for filing of August has gone. See, this is how it is giving me a data that this is the ITC available to me, and this is not ITC not available. So there is no figure for me which is showing as ITC not available. This is the ITC available to me. B2B invoices, debit notes. So since my transactions are less than 1,000, I can easily go to view and see my data. So nothing like this is happening. See, I am a chartered accountancy firm, so I don't have a lot of purchases being made. So nothing is happening. This is only one invoice. If I'll go to this invoice, I can see what exactly is the party wise, the differentiation. Kisne kitna kitna bill diya, I can see it here. Back to summary. If I want to download these details in Excel, I can click here, download my GSTR-2B details in Excel. I can download it here. So I can open it. So it is giving a bifurcation of ITC available. All the figures are there. Then B2B, party-wise data is also available to me. See, now this is here. Now your expertise comes in terms of data handling. This is the data in Excel now, GSTIN wise. So in your software, be it Tally or be it any other ERP, depends upon how you are maintaining your purchases. So you people know, I believe through Tally also, you can extract your data in Excel. I'm talking about Tally. This is the very basic software, and I believe you all must have gone through it once. So in Tally, I have an option to extract all my data in Excel. So what I'll do generally, if let's suppose I'm working for such a small client who has these only few entries, I extract the data from Tally in Excel. There is one unique ID. Generally, the unique ID is your invoice number. This is the unique ID. I apply VLOOKUP from here to my purchase data, both the data, and match with what is in my taxable value coming. And is the data similar? Is there any difference in terms of IDs in anything? I get my data. So now this is something your Excel things, your data analysis thing, which you can do through it. Just then when I have to do this ITC matching for bigger clients having transactions more than 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, I've even seen having 10,000 entries per month in terms of purchases. Without Excel, I can't do it. So you need to know that matching techniques. And one more essential requirements, the accounts team over there is maintaining the purchases data very properly in their system. Their system should have a proper field to enter the invoice number, to enter the party name, and their GSTIN numbers should be very properly mentioned in their ERP. Okay. So Alaguji is saying GSTR is filed through offline utility and ITC is taken as per books. No, Alaguji. ITC is always taken as per books, but then you reconcile it with your to be first. If it is matching, take entirely what is as per books. But if it is not matching, then you have to take as per this sheet. So I've told you this sheet, you have to work on this reconciliation as well. Without that, you are doing then legally wrong. Rule 36.4. Rule 36.4, I would like every one of you to study it in depth. Currently, the limit is 5%. So whatever ITC is available in 2B, you can take 5% of that ITC extra if there are certain ITC which is not available to you. Are we clear in this topic, or you still want me to take it in terms of more figures? This rule 36.4, because this is very important. Basis for your 3B. I can explain it more with numbers as well. Okay, I think people are clear about it. So I'm not taking it again because I think I have done this 36.4 before in the classes. So this is exactly not opening. Trying again. Okay, this is my matching offline tool. So first I have to download it, the matching offline tool, and this is the template. Similar to your GSTR1, you have a template in GSTR1. You will enter your purchase register here. First extract the data from your ERP, your Tally, whatever is the software, then do copy pasting of your data here. So you will update your purchase register over here. On the portal, when you will go to GSTR-2B, this was something we were doing on the online mode. If I'll go and do it on the offline mode, I will get an option to download the 2B in JSON format. So when I go to download, I have both the options, generate JSON file to download or generate Excel file to download. Whenever it is happening Excel file, it is the same file that we have downloaded it here. Why? So if your amount of transactions are less, you can do it directly through your Excel functions. But if the transactions are huge and you want to make use of the matching tool of the portal, then you can do it. So this you need to first install on your system. I have not installed it. Once you install it, just another 30 seconds it's going to take. Okay. So even in the PPT, I have given you all the screenshots as well. If you can see, download it, install it. This is your purchase register. Open your purchase register template and you need to fill all in the details. Now, open matching tool app, click on manage profile, then add profile of the taxpayer whose reconciliation is required to be done. Add profile. You will mention the GSTIN and the trade name and everything. Save it. Then select the GSTIN because this tool I'm going to use it for my multiple assessees. So that is why I'm going to select the GSTIN. Then click on open downloaded JSON file for the selected JSON from the portal. So whatever JSON you have downloaded, you will upload it here. Then you are doing the proceed things. You can view the summary of the GSTR-2B tab. Click on matching tool and now you need to import your Excel file for the purchase data. So there are two files to be uploaded in your matching tool. So this is my matching tool. It's on my system. So this is my matching tool. Okay, so you need to first add a profile. Let's suppose I'm adding my profile only. I am not safe. Okay, I'm going back. I'm saying this is the profile that I've added. Done. Financial year 21-22 tax period I'm going to do for July. Proceed. Now here I want to open the downloaded JSON file. First I need to download it. So I'm downloading it. Download it. Now I'll go on the portal. I open down things to be done for 8. Sorry. I'm opening the JSON file. Imported successfully. To be entire data is imported over successfully. I'm saying okay. Now over there, then you want to open download it. Now you need to import your Excel. This Excel it is talking about, the purchase register that I am going to make on the basis of my tally data or the whatever ERP I'm maintaining. So I'll make over data, I'll save it in the same folder. Then I'm going to go here and import that particular file. So I haven't saved the file. Let's save it in the similar manner. Let's suppose I'm just let's do it once. 0, 7. Financial year 21-22. Tax period, it is July. Talking about July. Okay. Any one GSTI number, please provide me with one GSTI number. Anyone? Okay, so I have this GSTI number 27AA HFC 4739. Was it some mistake? Okay, 27AA HFC 4739 R1ZQ. Okay. So I'm just filling up the mandatory fields. I'm selling P2B. It's an invoice that you have issued to me. I'm just writing 00111. Then there is document date. It's the month of July. So I'm saying 7th July. Taxable value was lakh rupees. Integrated tax was 18,000. I'm going to save this document in that folder only. So I am going here. So I have saved it. Okay, now I am again going to back my tool. I'm saying import Excel or CSV. I am importing. Okay, so number of documents. It has been uploaded. There were one document. There I can't increase this screen size. This will be this only. So it is showing from the purchase register. There was only one document that was added, B2B, the value and things are coming. Now I'm saying match. So what happens is that when you do this through matching tool, it provides you with the three kinds of data. One is exact match, one is partial match, that certain informations are matching, some are not matching, and the last is total mismatch. None of the parameters are matching. So if you see exact match, nothing is happening, all the 7 parameters. If you will go through the PPT, I have even mentioned parameters. These are the parameters based on which your matching tool is going to work. Exact match, there are 7 parameters. If your all 7 parameters are matching, it will give your data in exact match. What are the 7 parameters? Your GSTIN, document type, document number, document date, total taxable value, total tax amount, and total amount headwise. If all the 7 parameters are matching, then exact match. Partial match, if out of 7 parameters, 6 parameters are matching, then it is a partial match. But your GSTIN and document type, you can see that your GSTIN and document type, they need to mandatorily match. Then only it will be a partial match. ये दोनों match करेंगे, बाकी इन पांचों में से कोई भी 4 match करेंगे. And probable match, 6 out of 7 parameters. If there is mismatch, is classified into probable match if there is mismatch in one parameter among the listed parameters at serial number 1 and 2. However, parameters 3 and 7 are matching in 2B and the PR. So if in GST and document type, if any one is matching, but the others are not matching, then it is a probable match. Unmatched, 2 or more parameters not match. Unmatched with a score of 5, 4 out of 7 are matching or 5 out of 7 are matching, then it is a unmatched. Getting my point? So this is how something match and unmatch, and you can see in my tool as well, it is not showing me anything in exact match, nothing in partial match, nothing in probable match. Because if you realize whatever was mentioned in my 2B, those 6-7 bills, what I have entered in my purchase register is totally different from those 5-7 bills. It's not at all matching. So that is why I am coming in mismatch. It is saying there are 6 invoices in 2B, 1 invoice in purchase register, total taxable value, total tax amount, and it's GSTR-2B. In GSTR-2B, not in PR, itna amount. In PR, not in GSTR-2B. It's giving me that. Because 12, the data of 12,000 is coming in my 2B and 1 lakh is coming in my purchase register. Getting? So this is how you get your match and mismatch data through the portal. You can do it from here also. ITC matching, your B2B reconciliation, 2B reconciliation, but the only requirement is that the 2B data you can get very properly from the portal, but the purchase register from your client has to be proper. So you can do one thing. If you take the data of purchase register from your client, you can give them this format. Don't give them this file. Create your own Excel file. Provide these heads and ask your client to provide the data of all their purchases in this head. Then you can go ahead with your matching and mismatching thing, and you can easily tell your client, see, I have done your matching, then this is something that is not matching as per the tool. Okay, good to go ahead with this Reco thing. This also we have done for today. Yes, RK Pradhanji, he's saying that can we match huge data? For sure. That is why this matching tool is given. It is saying that if it is more than 1,000 entries, so for sure you should use this matching tool. I have used it, I have tried it. I have tried it for 10,000 entries and it has worked. That is my experience. 10,000 purchase data entries were there and it has told me exact areas where it is full match, where it is partial match. See, it even sees invoice document number 001 है /001 है, आपने dash की slash की, किसी की गलती तो नहीं करती है. It matches everything. It's a nice tool. Please do use it. Okay, so I'm moving forward. Closing it. This Reco PPT will also be shared with you. So don't you worry. I'm going to share it with you. I think. Yes. So in yesterday's class only I have shared it with the team. You will get it. Pranavi, you want to see from where I have taken this matching tool? Pranavi, it's here. Downloads, offline tools. Wait a minute. Just let me log it out. Here. So when once I'm logged out, then in the downloads, offline tool, matching offline tool. It's here. When I'm logged in, it's not showing to me, but when I'm logged out, it's showing to me in the downloads. Just go on gst.gov.in, downloads, offline tools and matching offline. This is this. Okay. So let's do this another 10 minutes. Let's spend on this composition scheme, annual return as well. It's very easy, not that time taking and very difficult thing. It's an easy thing. Let's do that and then we'll go for the break. So I'm just closing the PPTs. There's something going on. So this is your GSTR-4. So you people are aware we have done it when we were reading the composition scheme. So composition scheme, composition dealer has to file the annual return. It has to be filed by 30th of April, but the dates keep on changing, and still for financial year 2021, it's an extended date. So why it is not GSTR-4. Let's go on the portal directly. These PPTs are on whatever may be the reason are going to come to you. So I'm logging a composition dealer user ID and password. Okay. The composition dealer user ID and password is, I'm just Okay. So when I'll go for annual return for the set, this is GSTR-4 in 2021. So due date is 31 July. Exactly, I'm not aware अभी इसकी date extended है या नहीं. So it is not filed for this particular person till yet. So you need to mention, see people, I can't do a lot of things in this particular data. I can't take you entirely on the online side. I'm just showing this is how the GSTR-4 is happening, because this is not, this user ID password does not relates to me, so I can't make changes. So first you need to mention your aggregate turnover for the previous financial year. You save it and then you move forward. See, sometimes the portals acts finicky. If I write something over here and do save it, it won't allow me to change in the near future. So I can't do this right now. So now on the PPT, you can see what exactly happens. It's very simple, very simple. So what I can do is that I can take you to the last year's return file. So first the data is written, what is your aggregate turnover for the current financial year? And then it asks you, do you want to file a nil GSTR-4? Again, for filing nil return, annual return, you should not have any output liability, you should not have any ITC, you should not have any interest, late fees, penalty. Then only you can go ahead and say that, okay, I want to file nil GSTR-4. If not, then there are tables. So in GSTR-4 for a composition dealer, it provides you with the tables, different tables, and you need to input the data accordingly. So 4A talks about the inward supplies that you have received from a registered supplier. So GSTI and Ys, it's a kind of totals for the entire year. GSTI and Ys, you will add the details. What is the name, trade name, and then you will click on details. It will provide you with the things you have to fill up. Alaguji is asking, is there any turnover limit for filing GSTR-4? Alaguji, if you are registered as a composition dealer, it is mandatory for you to file GSTR-4, because during the entire year, you are just filing CMP-04 quarterly, nothing more than that. Sorry, CMP-08, you are just filing that. So this return, so that is why it is said for composition dealers, the government has made the GST filing easy, because it's only one return, that is annual return. You have to file and provide all the data regarding your sales and purchases. So registered dealer comes here. 4B, it talks about the reverse charge. This we had studied when we have done composition dealer. He is liable to make the payments of reverse charge. He will declare all the details relating to reverse charge here. Then if you have inward supplies from unregistered people, you need to have their PAN, the trade name, you will mention it. If there is import of service, over here you will mention the detail. Then summary of CMP-08. So the 4 CMP-08 that you have filed during the entire year automatically will come over here. That what is your outward supplies on which you have paid the taxes, what is your inward supplies attracting reverse charge, total taxes paid, interest if any. And then tax rate wise, you have to provide now rate wise bifurcation of your inward and outward supplies, similar to what you have done in GSTR 9C. So this annual return is a summarized return of your 9 and 9C shorter form, but similar things you have to provide. Now over here also you have to provide the rate wise bifurcation. And then if there is any TDS or TCS credit received, it will appear here. And once you are filled up with every table, then you can just, first you have to do that same download, and then the file button will become visible to you and you can file it. Since this is already file return, it is not showing that. You will show the payments. If there is any payment still pending to be paid by you on the reconciliation you determined it, you can do that. This PPT is very self-explanatory. It covers all the screenshots and you can easily go ahead with filing of your GSTR-4. It's very easy. See, once you are done with your 9 and 9C, that's the most typical area. So GSTR-4 won't be a hurdle for you in any case. Acha. So these are some important notes in this, that negative values are allowed. In GSTR-4, you are allowed to input negative values if, let's suppose, your returns are more your inputs are less, you can put in the negative values. You can add or delete the things. There is, use a search field if you want to find a list of added records. Records per page down, drop down list allow you to fix a particular number of records. You can fix it up. And use the download CSV link to download the added details in CSV forward. If you want to download whatever details you have input into the system, it's available in every return with the GST portal, that you can download whatever you have input into the data. Then this is the same, proceed to file. Once you are done with filling up all the tables, just go ahead with proceed to file and you can file your GSTR-4. Okay. So this is with the GSTR-4. Let's do one thing. Let's take a break for 10 minutes and then we will come back and start with the refund applications and then finally our question answers round. Okay. So it is 9:21 right now. So we are going for a break. It is 9:21. Let's meet up back at 9:35 exactly. Okay. So enjoy your break. Yeah, hi. So we all are back from the break. Okay, so let's start with our next topic. That is your refund applications, filing refunds. A very important area and a very gray area if I talk about. People generally are not aware about the refund applications, how they have to be filed. A lot of amount gets blocked into their ITC ledgers, or excess amount of tax is paid by them. So this is something we should know, and refund is something your clients are always happy that okay, my accountant or my chartered accountant is getting me the refunds, my amounts blocked anywhere on the portal back to me. I hope the PPT is visible to you. Okay. Just 1 minute. I don't know why my mouse is not working. So what exactly happens is that there are multiple reasons because of which you can be in a need to generate for refund. Like, just let's see what all you can tell me. Tell me what are the multiple reasons because of which we are required to go for refunds. Answers, please. Okay. So first, Satyan has came out with ITC more than my output liability. This is basically the case of inverted duty structure. Then there is exports with payment of taxes. Then there is excess tax paid. Then there is, okay, these are the responses. Multiple responses are there, but major or less they require. Then maybe a calculation mistake. Agreed, Subhashi, there can be a calculation mistake because of which you are required to claim the refunds. Okay, so let's understand step by step what all are the reasons because of which you might be required to take a refund, and how do we need to file the refund application. What are all the documents required to be submitted along with the refund applications? So basically, it's your refund form, that is RFD01, which is required to be filed. Refund application RFD01, which we go ahead on the portal and file it. This is just general knowledge. I am skipping it up. I'm not going ahead with that. Let's see that how do we file refund 01. Then we will see the various heads under which we are making the refund application. So as soon as you go on the services portal, then there is refunds and there is application for refund. Then when the application for refund button comes, these are the multiple heads on which you can go ahead with the filing of the refund application. Now, first is refund of excess balance in electronic cash ledger. Let's suppose due to any of the circumstances, like I was required to deposit a tax of rupees 10,000 into my portal, but by mistake I have deposited a lakh rupees. And I know in the near future I will not be able to utilize that lakh rupees. So what I can do, I can go ahead and file a refund application for the 90,000 rupees which I have paid in excess. This is a kind of clerical error that we have incurred. Or there might be more reasons for that. For the month of July, let's suppose I have a sale bill which is an interstate bill, but by default while depositing the tax I have deposited in the SGST and CGST. So now there is a new form PMT09. I think we have already discussed that you can transfer the balance from the any ledger to another ledger, be it interest, tax, penalty, IGST, CGST, SGST. You can shuffle the amounts, but before PMT09 you were not having this option. So what you were required to do? You were required to again make the payment of IGST and claim the refund of CGST and SGST. It was difficult. harassment to assessee because you have to go ahead with the refund applications and everything. But now PMT-09 has made our life easy. You can do it. But if that is so the case, or any other reason because of which there is excess balance in your cash ledger, you can go ahead and file with your refund applications. Then there is refund on ITC on export of goods and services without payment of tax. Let's suppose you are a person who are into only export of goods and services. So this is also a general rule that if you are only into export of goods and services, you are not mandatorily required to get yourself registered under GST. Getting my point? Because you are totally into export of goods. Your entire output liability is outside the purview of GST applicability. So if you are totally, when I say totally, 100% turnover is export of goods or services, or 100% of turnover is exempt or nil rated goods or services, then you not mandatorily need a registration. But think practically. It might be you are into export of goods and services, but you have a lot of inputs, be it purchases of goods, be it purchases of services that involve huge ITC component. Now, if you are registered under GST, you can go ahead and claim the refund of the GST paid on such goods and services. Getting my point? So if that is the case, you can file your refund application and claim refund of ITC on export of goods and services without payment of taxes. If you are doing it without payment of taxes, and let's suppose you are doing export of goods and services with payment of taxes, then obviously you are utilizing your ITC and then you are getting the refund either through iState if it is export of goods, and if it is export of services, you would be claiming the refund under this head, export of services with payment of taxes. You will get the refund here if you are claiming the ITC. Okay. Next is on account of supplies made to SEZ unit or SEZ developer without payment of taxes. If you are making the supplies to SEZ unit is equivalent to export, you are doing without payment of taxes, then you can claim refund of the ITC. Similarly, refund if you are making supplies, on account of with payment of taxes, then you can claim the refund of the taxes made. So this is equivalent to this is without payment, this is with payment, this is equivalent to this is without payment, this is with payment. Okay. Next is refund on account of ITC accumulated due to inverted tax structure. Now what is inverted tax structure? I'll give you a practical example. So those people who are in the area of repair, renovation, construction facilities, specifically to the government agents, government organizations, their rate of taxation is 12%. It's a kind of job work service they are giving. It's inclusive of labor and material. This is taxable at the rate of 12%. But their input includes labor, their input includes cement, raw materials, all these construction materials. They are taxable either at 18% or 28%. So it is an inverted duty structure for them because their inwards have a higher rate of GST as compared to their outward tax liability. So since their outward is 12% and inward is 18, 28%, so they get a lot of ITC accumulated with them. And also they don't even have options to use this ITC because whatever ITC they are utilizing in their outward is less. Their outward liability is not that enough to absorb all the ITC over there. So they can go ahead and claim the refunds of the ITC due to inverted tax structure. Then there is, okay, so Sayali has came with a question: if normal taxpayer also export one bill, then also file refund of ITC on export of goods and services without payment of tax. So Sayali is asking a very what I would say practical question. So let's suppose I am a person whose 99% sale is a normal domestic sales and 1% sale is a export sale. So why should I go and claim refund for that one bill? In case of exports, all my ITC, I'm eligible to claim the ITC. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to claim the ITC entirely. So there is no case of refund. I'll make the exports with LUT. So I'm not going to make the payment of taxes on the export. And I will utilize all the ITC while discharging my liability, be it on domestic sales or be it on export sales. So there is no return need of ITC. But if I am making the payment, if I am discharging the export liability with payment of taxes, if it is goods, export of goods, so it will automatically come through iSCATE. I've already told you, you need to mention properly your shipping bill number, port code and everything. It will automatically flow from the iSCATE. If it is export of services, then you will come here, export of services with payment of tax, and you will claim the refund here. Okay, this is how it happens. Then the next is on account of refund by recipient by deemed export. Yesterday I have told you about the deemed export. What are the deemed export? In case of deemed export, both the supplier of services of deemed export and the recipient of services of deemed export, both are eligible to claim the refunds. Either of them can claim the refund provided the other one provides a declaration or a certification that we are not claiming the refund, so you can claim the refund. So over here, both the options are given: refund by recipient and refund by supplier in case of deemed exports. Both are given. So you are in whatever category, you can take the refund. Then there is refund on account of tax paid on intrastate supply, which is subsequently held to be interstate supply and vice versa. Let's suppose you have paid taxes, what I was discussing, that intrastate hai, but you paid interstate, any difference, vice versa, you can claim the refunds here. Any other specify, any other reason might be, so you can specify it here and claim the refunds. If you had made excess payment of tax, then you can claim it on account of assessment, provisional assessment, appeal, or any other order. If because of any assessment that has happened, you have made pre-deposits and then you want to get your amount refunded, you can go ahead and file your refund application here. R.K. Pradhanji is saying, do we have to file refund application for goods exported with payment of taxes? R.K. Pradhanji, no. In case of export of goods exported with payment of taxes, you don't need to do that, provided you are updating proper details in table 6A. If you remember, table 6A of GSTR-1, which specifically talks about export of goods, your entire billing. If proper details are input over there, then you don't need to file your refund application for export of goods with payment of taxes. Automatically, the iSCATE, which is linked with your customs, it will first verify the detail provided to them by the custom officials and by you in your GST portal. They will match it and release the refund in your bank account. You don't need to do anything. It's just uploading of table 6A, which has to be proper. And this you can also see in all the options. There is no option which provides for refund on account of export of goods with payment of taxes. Are you seeing any option? No, it's not there because it will automatically flow into your bank account. Okay. So this is the very first option. If you create refund application, excess balance in cash ledger, it will show you what is the amount lying in your cash ledger. Okay, and then you can fill it up, the amount whichever you want to get refunded, you can get it refunded. Over here you will enter what amount of refund you want, just write it, and then you can file your application. It will first ask, before asking for refund, that is there any outstanding demand. If it is, it will ask you to feed, it will automatically calculate this is your outstanding demand. You need to first pay that and then only you can claim the refunds. Then it will ask which bank account you want to have your refunds to be proceeded ahead with. By default, whatever bank account you have mentioned at the time of your registration, it will take that and then you can get that refunds. So there is a question, can we, if there is outstanding demand, can we claim the refund? Satyanji, it can never happen that department will issue you a refund if there is already outstanding demand and it's standing on the portal. See, it does not even happen in income tax. If there is any outstanding demand and the refund is also due to it, the department will first adjust their demands and then they will issue you a refund. They won't have their losses. Okay. Then if there is any supporting file, we are going to study what exactly the documents are required to be attached. You will attach your file, select, choose it and save it and file it. Now, this is the list what documents you are required to submit in case of refunds. When the law initially came, the GST law, initially the refunds, I think this portal became active in January 18 only. For the initial 6 months, the refund portal was not active. And initially what was happening, you have to first file your refund application online and then you have to physically submit all the documents to the department. Now for last 1 year, it is that everything is online. You don't need to submit anything physically to the department. So whatever documents I'm going to tell, you need to prepare a copy, signed, stamped, everything, scan it and then upload it. Nandini is asking about what amount we can file refund claim. It is above 10,000, Nandini. Before that, the department does not entertain the refund applications. So if there is refund of excess balance in the electronic cash ledger, they don't need to provide any documents. It is just the balance is lying in your cash ledger and we are filing, we want the refund of this amount, they will provide it with you. Then there is refund of ITC on export of goods. If I'm doing export of goods and services without payment of taxes, I'm claiming the refund of ITC, star mark. This will happen obviously when you have filed the LUT. You have to provide with a copy of GSTR-4 of the relevant period. You have to show that whatever ITC you are claiming is reflected in your 2A. Then you have to provide with a statement of invoices, an Excel format of the invoices, that this is the invoices for which I am claiming the refund. Self-certified copy of invoices which are not found in 2A. There might be certain invoices who are not appearing in 2A, but you want still the refund for them. So you have to provide a photocopy of the invoices self-certified. And provided those invoices are entered in statement of invoices. Okay. Then BIRC, BRC or FIRC in case of export of services and shipping bill in case of goods. BRC, FIRC in case of whenever there is export of services, you will always get a BRC or FIRC from your bank accounts which declare that, okay, this was the sale bill against which you have received this amount. In case of export of services, you always have, there is a requirement that within the 6 months, you must realize your payments. So that is why BRC and FIRC is happening. If BRC and FIRC is not there, then it's not to prove that you have received the payment against your export invoice. And if there is no proof that you have received the payment, so then there is no proof you have made the export of services. Then on what basis you are claiming the refund of ITC? This is because you need to provide BRC, FIRC in case of export of services. And if it is goods, the proof of export happening is the shipping bill. Okay. In this case, we are taking copy of GSTR-2A, not 2B. Now, this is a question I'm seeing a lot of people are asking. Why 2A? Why not 2B? I told you 2A is dynamic and 2B is specific. 2B is specifically used because we are filing monthly returns. So when we are filing monthly returns, if anyone is filing beyond 11, it won't appear. But currently, we are not talking about anything specific in terms of return filing. We are talking, this is something ITC available to me, but I cannot avail it on account of my output. I want its refund. So GSTR-2A is a better document because it will cover all the invoices as compared to 2B. Pranavi is asking, what is statement of invoices? Pranavi, it's nothing, just an Excel, make an Excel, provide with a statement of invoices, provide all the basic details in your Excel format, bill number, party GSTIN, party name, type of invoice, taxable value, GST amounts, different heads. You need to provide that. That is your statement of invoices. This is not GSTR-1. GSTR-1 is my output liability. Statement of invoices is my purchases. Okay? Clear? Now next is refund of ITC on account of supplies made to SEZ units or developer. If we are making supplies without payment of taxes, exactly similar documents as in the above case. The only difference is in the fourth point, which says endorsements from the specified officer of the SEZ regarding receipt of goods and services for authorized operations. So you can judge that in the point 4, what the department is just demanding. They are demanding is that please provide with a proof that you have done this transaction, be it export of goods, be it export of services, or be it supplies made to SEZ units or developers. You need to provide that proof. So in case of SEZ, what is the proof? The SEZ developer, the SEZ person, there is a specified officer who will provide you with the endorsement that you have performed this transaction. Now, Pranavi is saying in continuation of our earlier question that the statement of invoices should match with GSTR-2A. Pranavi, that is why, if you will see what the third point says, this third point, that in case your invoices are not appearing in 2A, but you have a valid invoice, you can add it in this annexure B and provide a self-certified copy of those invoices. So here it might be a scenario that your statement of invoices is not matching with GSTR-2A because your vendor has not uploaded it on the portal. For the refund, they are not providing that this is a mandatory condition that it should appear in GSTR-2A. If you have an invoice, a valid invoice, just take care of valid invoice. What is a valid invoice? All the requirements that are required to be on an invoice should be there. Like it should have tax invoice mentioned. It should have the GSTIN of the supplier. It should have my GSTIN. It should have my trade name. It should have my proper address, and there should be a proper declaration regarding the goods supplied to me along with the GST values. Right? Then if there is refund on account of ITC accumulated due to inverted tax structure, you need to provide GSTR-2A, same statement of invoices, and self-certified invoices if they are not found in 2A, but you have them. So you need to provide with this document. On account of refund by recipient of deemed export, similar things, all the documents are just similar, not a lot different. Statement containing invoice-wise details of deemed export supplies made by the supplier. You need to provide an invoice-wise detail. Now this is your sale bill details of the deemed export made by you. So now over here the refund is being claimed by the recipient. So he will provide the detail of the services received by him from the supplier, an acknowledgement of the jurisdictional officer of AA, advance authorization, because deemed export is happening in this case, advance authorization or EPCG holder, that deemed export supplies have been happened. These two documents, or EOU, HTP, STP, BTP, copy of tax invoice of the supplies received by them, an undertaking by the recipient that no ITC has been claimed, that you have not claimed any ITC, and undertaking by the recipient that it shall not claim a refund in respect of such supplies. So all these declarations, all these documents, and then you can go ahead with the claiming of refund. So R.K. Pradhanji is asking, if we are exporting under LUT along with payment of tax, also on some export invoices, how to bifurcate on which invoice ITC has been utilized and which are to be claimed to be refunded. First thing, R.K. Pradhanji, in your question, we are saying that we are in export of goods. Let's assume we are in export of, not goods, we are in export of services. Every month, I am raising around 10 bills of export of services. Now, out of 10 bills, I already have an LUT in my hand. Now, out of 10 bills, 3 bills are done with payment of taxes, and on the 7 bills, I am not making the payment. I'm filing it without payment of taxes. How to bifurcate? Your question says how to bifurcate on which invoices ITC have been utilized and which are to be claimed to be refunded. Now you want to claim the refund of the ITC. So for 7 invoices you have done without payment of taxes. So for those 7 invoices you will go for the refund of the ITC. However, For the balance 3, you are done with payment of taxes. So when you are making the payment of taxes, you must have utilized the ITC. Whatever ITC was there, you must have utilized it, set off your liability, and obviously your liability must have become zero, as you still have a lot of ITC left with you. You can claim the entire ITC as your refund. There is nothing such that you need to bifurcate, because in both the cases you are eligible to claim all the ITC. It is in that case when I have one kind of service which is taxable and one kind of service which is exempt. There I need to bifurcate what ITC relates to taxable and what ITC relates to my exempt. Zero rated are equivalent to your taxable supplies. It's just that it is export. That is why I'm not paying taxes. Otherwise, it's equivalent to taxable. So there is no need to bifurcate it. Okay. Then there is 8th point, tax paid on intrastate supply, which is subsequently held to be interstate supply and vice versa. There is no supporting documents required. Then account of refund by supplier of deemed export. Again, the same what we have done in the case of if the refund is called by the recipient of deemed exports. These are the similar documents, just statement of invoices and your declarations that actually the transaction has happened. Okay. Any other things specified? Documents in support of the claim. Whatever you are claiming, just provide with the document. Excess payment of tax, it will just appear in a cash ledger. You can claim it. When there is refund on account of assessment, provisional assessment, appeal, or any other order, provide with the reference number of the order. Every document from the department, if it is a notice, if it is an order, it carries a DIN number. So, or order ID. Either of the things are available. So you have to provide with the reference number and then provide with the reference number and proof of payment of the pre-deposit made. What refund you are claiming? You are claiming the refund of the pre-deposit made. So you need to prove that you have made that pre-deposit. Pre-deposit generally is happening through DRC-03. So you should have the ARN number of the DRC-03 and a copy of the challan. So you will attach that document in your attachments. Okay. Then this is on the online portal. You just need to attach those documents and then file and submit and proceed. So I'll show you one more thing in that. So Sayali is asking when to file the refunds. What is the timeline? So for that, I'm just providing. The timeline for claiming your refund is 2 years from the relevant date. Now, what is the relevant date? That is the question. So within 2 years, you can file. Though it is said you can file your application on a monthly basis or yearly basis. It depends on you. You can even file for multiple taxpayers in a single application, or you can file multiple applications for multiple months. It depends on you. Both the options are available, but no refund application can be made beyond 2 years from the relevant date. So relevant date is in case of excess payment of taxes. जिस दिन आपने ज़्यादा पेमेंट करी है उस दिन से आपका 2 साल का पीरियड शुरू हो जाता है. So that is the date of payment. Export or deemed export, whatever is happening, date of dispatch. Date of dispatch, loading or passing the frontier. Whichever is earlier is your date from which you will calculate the period of 2 years. Then there is ITC accumulated. Either your output tax is exempt or nil rated or even inverted duty structure. Last date of the financial year to which the credit belongs. So from that particular date, from the end of the financial year for that particular transaction, from that date your 2 years period will be calculated. And finalization of provisional assessment, the date on which tax is adjusted. So that is the date of the order. So date of the order, your provisional assessment is finalized, and whatever pre-deposit you have made, from that date you will calculate your period for 2 years. Also, it is said that the government will be paying you interest at the rate of 24% per annum for if the refund is paid with delay. Okay, this sheet also I have shared with you. Don't you worry, you will all have these relevant dates. So this is all about the refund applications. Just make sure your refund applications are properly signed, stamped and verified. Generally, what issue the departments comes out with, whatever documents, like Annexure B. Annexure B is your statement of invoices. So if you are providing with the statement of invoices to the department, it should be complete, signed, stamped by the proprietor or the director. All the documents should be self-certified. Just avoid sending blank documents to them without any signature or self-certification. Just make sure. So refunds will be issued to you. Might be they raise a query, might be asked for some additional documents, but they are not a lot. These documents suffice. So Ramchandraji is saying that if I paid an excess amount and didn't realize at the payment time and I closed my GST after closing. What I'm getting from your question, Ramchandraji, is that let's suppose I was filing my GSTR-3B for a month and by mistake I paid an excess amount. So when I have paid an excess amount, obviously my GSTR-3B I must have shown a liability of 10,000, but by mistake I have paid 1 lakh. So GST portal is going to adjust 10,000 only, 90,000 will stay in my cash ledger. So this is the case of refund of the excess balance in the cash ledger. But if you are trying to say that I have shown even the wrong liability in GSTR-3B, I have shown their lakh and lakh I have paid. So in your cash ledger, there is nothing. So two options, either during the next month, you need to revise your 3B. You need to show that I need a refund of 90,000. Now this is a gray area. GSTR-3B still does not allow me to put negative values. So let's suppose if next month my outward liability is again 10,000. Previous month I have paid an excess of 90,000. Still I am able to adjust only 10,000 in the next month. 80,000 is still excess. So I am not allowed to put negative values in my 3B. So the other option which I generally suggest to my clients, since I don't have any option available, what I do, I go ahead with this excess payment of tax. So this was one of the option. Excess payment of tax. I'll go and file it over here. That by mistake I have made an excess payment of tax and I want to claim the refund. So over here I'm going to update my refund application. Okay. RK Pradhanji is asking, is there any time limit to use ITC credits in our account also? RK Pradhanji, there is no time limits in terms of utilization. It is for the availment. So there are two terms. Mind it. For ITC, it is one is availment and one is utilization. So availment is what? I'm entering the data into my GSTR-3B and the amount comes into my ITC ledger on the portal. This is my availment. This has a time limit of September 30th of the following financial year. This is the time limit. But for utilization, might be I'm still having my any amount in my credit ledger from financial year 18-19. It's okay. I can utilize it any time. There is no time limit. It will not ever get deducted from my ledger, ITC ledger. Never. It won't happen ever. So there is no time limit for the utilization of the ITC credits. Okay. So people, this is something that I exactly thought upon, that this is important in terms of all the GST compliances, in terms of portal, what we are required to do or not. I can show you one more thing and then we can start ahead with the question and answers. Whatever questions, whatever difficulties you are facing, you can ask me. So let me just show you one more thing. Yes. So few more things I believe you people should be aware of. Wait a minute. I think my system got hanged. So on the services, user services, you will see over here view notices and orders. If there is any notices and orders from the department, you will be able to see that. So let's suppose I must have filed an amendment in my registration. So this is the order of the amendment passed. I can download it. If there is any notice issued by the department in respect of my registration, even that I can view it here. So this is something, whenever there is a notice issued by a department, it will come on the registered email ID, whatever is my registered email ID. Also in the user services, it will be appearing over here. This is one column and this is one view additional notices and orders. So over here also you will get it, you will see it. So these area only, wherever your notice is attached, there only you get an option to answer the queries. There only you will file a reply to the department. But in the recent past, I have seen many of my clients are receiving notices just on their email IDs. Nothing is there on the portal. So whenever you receive any such kind of notices on your registered email ID, you need to answer that. Whatever is the question, answer that, prepare your documentation, your supporting works, and you need to visit your GST department wherever your jurisdiction lies, center or state. You need to visit them and submit your answers. Don't leave any notice unanswered, because it creates this scenario in the mind of the department that you are doing some fraudulent practice. So you need to answer all the notices and the orders issued by the department. If you have any applications, my saved applications, if it is in draft, it shows all the applications that you have filed, what kind of application you have filed. You need to just select it, and accordingly from date to date, and you will get in the search option whatever applications you have filed. So this is the online portal, the user services portal, where you get all your things. If you want to see whatever submissions you have made, you can see it here. You can furnish your LUT here. You can view your submitted LUTs here. So this is all something this is happening. Okay, this is your refund portal. Here you can go ahead and file for your refund application. If you want to see your refund applications saved and filed, if you want to track your application status, if you want to share an intimation on account of refund not received, here track status of invoice data to be shared with iState. This is also being provided over here, that you can track the status of your GSTR-1 invoice data with the iState. All the services are here given, though GST portal is nowadays better than your income tax portal. It's much better to use. It has developed over the time. So I think we have done most of the things. When I talk about the GST compliance portal, how to comply with everything. So people, this is how we somehow come to the end of our GST compliance course. We have done most of the topics as done in the cases of what I have told that we would be doing in these classes. So I'm ready for open questions. So let's see what all questions do you have in your mind. Just wait a minute. I'm just expanding my portal. So there is a question from Sayali. She says that if revocation application notice reply miss, it then after can we file revocation again? See Sayali, earlier the time period for filing of application for revoking the cancellation was 180 days. Now it has been changed to 90 days. So you will obviously receive a notice on your portal that the department has cancelled your registration. So you are required to file your reply within 90 days that why it should not be cancelled. If there is some delay and there was some genuine reason because of which you were not able to file, then you have to ask for condonation of delay. That cannot be done on the portal. Now you are required to make an application and visit the department. Then the department people can only let you know that how this can be done, and most probably what happens is that you need to file an appeal against the cancellation order. if the appeal allows you and they accept your condonation of delay, then you can go ahead with filing of documents that why your registration should not be cancelled. And generally, the registrations are getting cancelled on account of non-filing of returns for a period of 2 to 3 months. If that happens, then department first issue you a notice for a defaulter that you are a defaulter and you are not filing your returns on time. You need to file it. If you don't even answer that and you don't even file your returns, then obviously your registration will get cancelled. Okay. Then Mr. R.K. Pradhanji is asking, if we have ITC credit in our ledger older than 2 years, cannot we claim refunds of this electronic credit balance? Now you are saying that ITC credit ledger. So the 7 or 6 options that we have seen in case of this refund applications, there was no such thing that was telling excess balance lying in your ITC credit ledger. It was talking about whatever the balance is lying in your cash ledger. Now you need to first determine what is the reason you have an excess balance in your ITC credit ledger. Is it on account of exempt or nil rated output that you are supplying, or is it on account of inverted duty structure? First you need to determine that. If it is on account of any of the both, then only you can go ahead with the filing of refund application, and then again you have those calculation period of 2 years depending upon the relevant date for these two areas. If let's suppose it is the case, you are saying that neither we are supplying exempted or nil rated items and neither we have this what should I say, inverted duty structure, then why you have an excess ITC balance in your ledger, you need to justify. Then if there is excess ITC ledger, then you have a lot of stock lying with you. They won't give you a refund. Now you are saying that it is on account of you are exporting goods under LUT now. You are now exporting. Now RKG, you have to be very sure you are now exporting goods under LUT. So how come you have a ITC balance older than 2 years? See, department generally won't allow you to provide with a refund of ITC without any reason. You have to justify. If it would have been under export of goods and since beginning you are exporting goods under LUT, then obviously, as we have discussed, the period of 2 years applies from the date of dispatch of goods. From that date only you are eligible to claim the ITC credit, not beyond that. It's a time barred application now. Now Manish Kumarji is saying that can we make July month e-invoice in August? So what you have done, e-invoicing is something real time that is happening. E-invoice has to be maintained at that time only. You can't do it in the next month. But obviously in GSTR-1, if you have missed something, then in the next month of the August, obviously I can generate that bill for the month of July in my GSTR-1 for the month of August. So Satyanji is saying, is there any tribunal for GST like income tax? Satyanji, to be very frank, this is very initial stages of GST department going on. Currently, we have the assessment officers, and then we even have the CIT appeals. Like the CIT appeals, there is an appellate organization already there. Tribunal for GST is about to come into existence because now the cases have started going up to that level. Next. Sharadji is saying, if turnover is below 2 crores, so GSTR-9 filed is mandatory. No, Sharadji, below 2 crores, GSTR-9 is not mandatory. It's optional to you. It's up to you that whether you want to file GSTR-9 or not. Like last class, I've told it's always better to file it because it helps you do all the reconciliations towards the end of the year. If anything has been missed out by you, you can suo motu makes the payment. It reduces your liability in the future. Okay. So any further questions from you people? Okay. Sayali is saying that while conducting GST audit, what points should we remember? Sayali, very first important thing, if you are doing GST audit, the documentation work is very important. You are a GST auditor for a person. It's similar to a statutory auditor for any other assessee in the Income Tax Act. You make sure you have all the documents, the balance sheets, P&L account. If you are doing branch wise, please take all the balance sheets and P&L accounts branch wise from them. Generally, people don't provide that document. Then whatever reconciliations you are making, what supporting documents you consider, those ledgers, their trial balance, all your supporting documents should be available with you. Then on your recommendations, the assessee is making any of the payments, whatever you have determined, keep them with you. If any recommendation that you believe that the assessee should have paid or should have acted upon in that sense, and the assessee is not agreeing to it, mention that in qualifications. Don't take anything on your head. Qualify the report, mention it, and then only you should go ahead with the signing of the GST audit. Okay. So Satyanji is asking, is GST department issuing any assessment order? Satyanji, to be very frank, my practical experience, GST department currently is issuing a lot of notices, and in those notices they are issuing orders. Orders have been issued under that, but I haven't seen any assessment order in scenario of, because the annual return for 17-18 has been filed, no assessment has been finalized up to financial year 17-18 for any of my assessees. I have not seen it practically. But notices, yes, notices are coming for financial year 17-18, 18-19, even for 19-20, I have seen the notices. Multiple reasons, like even if you have deposited less than 3% of the taxes, you are getting notices. Okay. So a lot of questions are there. I might miss some. So Pranavi is now saying GST audit is not applicable now, only GSTR-9 to be filed. Pranavi again repeat the same, 9 you have to file, 9C has to be filed, but self-certification basis. So now we chartered accountants are saved. So GST audit, such term is not happening, but is happening on self-certification basis. Then there is, yeah, Pranavi, I am saying self-certification basis पे ही है, the GST audit certification by chartered accountants have been removed. I've been telling this since the beginning, this is the change. But for 9C, I don't have the latest utility till now available. We have even seen in the portal, it's not assisting me. So this is a new utility that has came today only. I need to study and see how it has to be filled. But all other tables in terms of data are exactly the same. There is no change in the data. It's just the certification portion must have change. Nimish, you are saying that refund application rejected by the officer. Agreed. Okay, your refund application was rejected. But while rejecting, officer made some mistake and my credit ledger not credited with rejection amount. You can file an appeal, Nimish. Obviously, you need to file an appeal when your refund application is rejected. That ITC amount was bound to come back in your credit ledger. If it is not, then the officer is at default and you need to file an appeal and tell that the rejection order is not correct. The ITC should flow back to me. So what exactly Ganesh is asking? Auto in the asking something. Where is it, Ganesh? I have not seen it. Can you help me out? I think. Can you guide me, Ganeshi? In this page or on the I need to check it, Ganesh, to be very frank. Where is it? Below your screen. I'm still not getting it. Okay. See, Ganesh, you can write me this query on the forum. I'll see and answer it. So there are a few more questions. ITC, Alguji saying ITC accounted in books. GSTR-1 is not filed by vendor. Should ITC be reversed in books? Is there any time for reversal? Okay, so now what has happened is that you have booked ITC in your books of accounts, but your vendor has not filed GSTR-1. So it must not be appearing in your GSTR-2B. You cannot claim the ITC. ITC should be reversed in books. See, generally what will happen, you will claim that ITC as a cost. It will get removed from your ITC credit ledger and become a part of your expenses. There is no such time reversal because you have not claimed that ITC. In case you have claimed an ITC, then before 30th September, you are required to do the reversal. But the time you delay, interest is applicable for sure. So do it ASAP as soon as you see that he has not filed the return. But now what I believe is that owing to rule 36.4, you are not claiming any ITC which is not appearing in your 2B. This is the benefit of rule 36.4. So if you have not claimed it, there is no time limit for reversal, but agreed, you are following the income tax laws as well. What income tax law says is that if you book any expenditure in the next financial year, it will become a prior period expenditure. So write it off in the current financial year. You have to consider both the GST laws and the income tax laws functioning properly. Okay. So if I talk about, there are two questions people are asking, that ITC refund with payment and without payment. With example, Raviji, ITC refund with payment of taxes, if this is happening. Export of goods, export of services, two options. Export of goods, if you are doing with payment of taxes, you don't need to file any refund application. Just while filing GSTR-1, mention your shipping bill details properly. Automatically it will come through the IceGate channel to you. If you are doing export of services with the payment of taxes, you need to file the refund applications as we have seen in the PPT. So this was an option, that ITC on account of export of services with payment of taxes. आप यहाँ पे click करेंगे. जब आप यहाँ पे click करेंगे, तो आपको ये डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करने हैं. This is on export of services. GSTR-2A देना है आपको of the relevant period. Annexure B, that contains your statement of invoices. If there are certain invoices which are not appearing in 2A, you will provide the self-certified copies. Obviously, it is export of services. So BRC and FIRC you have to give. And then there is a self-declaration. You have to provide a self-declaration to the government that I have not been prosecuted for 5 years and I have not evaded tax more than 2.5 years. That's the document you need. And if you are doing export of goods and services without payment of taxes, then you are going to claim the refund of the ITC. So that is the first option. This was this. Refund of ITC on export of goods and services without payment of taxes. With payment of taxes, you are claiming refund of the taxes paid. Without payment of taxes, you are claiming the refund of the ITC. So I've mentioned the documents and you have to file those documents and you will get the refund. Okay. So Ganeshji is asking, what are the legal consequences if in case we are not filing the job work details in ITC-04? See Ganeshji, to be very frank, there is no harsh penalty till now from the department in case of non-filing of ITC-04. And what I remember, ITC-04 for the period July 17 to March 20. I think this was the period which even the government said that we are just deferring it. It's not mandatory for you to file. If you have filed, it's okay. If you have not filed, just leave it. So there was no penalty imposed till date on that. And even now, ITC-04, the dates get extended every quarter. So there is no such legal consequence till now. जो normal penalty लगेगी, whatever the normal penalty is defined in case of late filing, whenever it will become applicable, it will appear on you. Like for GSTR-1, the penalty, the notification came back 2 years back that if you are filing your GSTR-1 late, we will charge a penalty. I think it's just only 2 to 3 months back it became applicable on your portal. Now, when you are filing your 3B, it is even showing the late fees for the late filing of GSTR-1. So GST portal is evolving right now. It's gradually evolving. It will take time. Alaguji is saying GSTR-2B is pre-filled while filing GSTR-3B to online mode. Yes, when the data is pre-filled in the offline mode also. See, Alaguji, offline mode, you are not downloading the 3B. You are just going through the offline utility. So if you want to get that filled up 3B online mode, so you need to go on the download area, go on offline mode, then there is an option to download the already filled 3B. So download it and then open in the tool, then it will be pre-filled. Sayali is asking that if application of cancelled GSTR and filed within how many days can be filed GSTR-10? Okay, so when you surrender your GST number, you first apply for the cancellation of the GST registration and then you have to file the final return, that is the GSTR-10. I believe the period for filing of GSTR-10 is 6 months. I'm not sure, but I believe it is 6 months within which you need to file your final application. But like recently, 3 months back, I have filed for surrender applications, but still my applications are not processed. So it is not allowing me to file the GSTR-10. So I have to wait. Then Ganeshi is asking, is it mandatory to maintain job work details for audit purpose? Obviously, Ganeshi, as an auditor, if I'm a statutory auditor or an internal auditor for any organization, I will be seeing what is going out and what is coming in. If it is not coming within 3, like for inputs, it was 1 year, and for capital goods, it was 3 years. If it is not coming back, I have to claim it as a tax invoice, right? For that purpose, you need to maintain those details. Nimish is saying how to apply refund application if local sale and export. So you have two kinds of services, output liability, that is your that is your taxable domestic territory sale and exports. You are doing two kind of output liability. Now you have ITC. Let's suppose you have exhausted, you have utilized whatever ITC is there in terms of discharging your local sale. Still ITC is left with you. So you can apply for refund, that is on refund of ITC on export of goods without payment of taxes, because this is happening like that. Ganeshi is asking that if we have applied LUT through online, do we need to submit to the department in person? No, you don't need to submit it. Just you get the LUT, you take out that my submissions, you get your certificate, that's all. So whenever you are submitting any other document to the government and you are required to prove that you have applied for LUT, then only you will submit it. Otherwise, no. There is nothing called stamping or something would be happening for the LUT thing. Okay. So Satyanji, you had asked, I think, that can you clarify an ITC matching with the ledger? Simple, Satyanji. If your transactions is more than 1,000, first download the JSON file of the to be generated. Then in the purchase registered, I have shown you the Excel utility. Update your data from your tally data or ERP into that purchase register. So now you have two files. One is the to be downloaded in JSON format and one is your purchase register in Excel. Now download that offline utility. This was the offline tool for the matching tool. This was your offline tool. Go on to that tool and then upload your, both the things. First is your JSON and then is your Excel. Automatically it will match and then provide you with the detail. Yes, it has to be done in the specific format because these tools are very dynamic tools. They don't work without their files to be input. Like in the case of GSTR-1, I've told you can't make changes in the file. Similar is the case with every tool. Okay. So I believe if any further questions, we can still take up for next 5 minutes. And going further, see, Still, I am very open. Any questions, any doubts, any queries, please post it on the GST forums. I will be happy to help you all, because I do get a lot of practical exposure from your people queries. Whatever you learn is from the practical experience, how you incorporate whatever law you have read, then only, right? So I believe you enjoyed all the 8 sessions. Any feedback from your people that I need to improve upon, that needs to be done in the going forward classes, please to mention it. Sayali, you have that I think self-learning portal over there only. There is a question forum and you need to write the questions. Most of the people are sending their questions to me and I'm answering them. So you can post your questions over there. Every week I visit that forum and I answer the questions. I won't say that I'm answering it on a daily basis, but yes, weekly basis I'm answering it. Okay, and one more thing, if you people want to join the next coming course, Advanced Excel, in which I'll be taking a lot of things regarding this GST compliances and other things as well, like how to do your balance sheet consolidation, how to apply your pivots, filters, everything that is related to accountancy work to speed up the work and everything. So you can join that course. I believe day after tomorrow, there is some discounts also going on. So till tomorrow, it's the last day to apply if you want to take the discounts. And the batch is going to start from next Sunday. The next Sunday would be your introductory session, and the classes will start from 4th. Ajit is asking for income tax compliances. I believe Ajit, Tax Guru is currently running some self-learning course on income tax compliances. You can check the portal and accordingly you will get the information whether the course is running or not. RK Pradhanji is saying that if some manufacturing unit GSTIN is used in class, it will be very helpful. RK Pradhanji, the problem is that, see, still I was using my GSTIN number. I was declaring all my information on the portal. I was making it public. It's very risky. Manufacturing unit, no person will be ready to share their GSTIN on the portal because it makes the data public. And to be very frank, there is no difference. I am dealing with manufacturing units. I am doing with people having turnover 500,000 crore turnovers. So there is no difference. It's exactly the same portal. You won't find a difference. There is no difference in that. So don't worry that you will lag behind filing the returns for the manufacturing unit. You will never ever. And in case you face any issue, I am always there. Post your query. I'll help you in that how to do that. Yes, Satyanji, there is some another instructor for the income tax compliance course. I am not taking that particular course with Tax Guru. Okay, so it was okay. Bhagwanji is coming saying that, ma'am, can I change the name now because my father's name? I'm not able to get Bhagwant your query. Subhashi, another batch of advanced Excel course. Exactly, the dates are next Sunday. I'm just going to take a intro session on Sunday morning, and the course will start from 4th. There will be a 2 weeks gap. From 4th, it will be starting. Obviously, after that completion, the courses keeps on running. So there might be another course that will happen. There is no time limit for posting of queries. RK Pradhanji, till the time your user ID passwords are working, you can post your queries. Sushma ji, I'm not exactly aware what is the validity for Tax Guru login ID and password, to be very frank. So Bhagwan, you're talking about your name with the Tax Guru people. I think write a mail to the Tax Guru people. They will help you in that. They can get it changed. Okay, so people, it's the time to wind up the classes. It was pleasure for me to teach you all and have such a nice and interactive people. I never felt like that I'm not able to see any one of you. I'm not able to talk to any one of you. Your questions, your things running over here actually make me feel proud, that nice, that I'm having really nice audience who are interested in getting into this. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shankarji, for your blessings. Thank you very much. Exams, most probably this week you will get the mail from the Tax Guru that when your exams are going to happen. Questions will come from PPT only, nothing more. Very simple exams, objective papers. Just you need to select what is the right question, what is the right answer, and you will be able to do that. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Please to provide your feedbacks on the Tax Guru portal. Any changes required to be made, where I was good, where I was bad. I need it for my performance appreciation later on. Thank you all. Enjoy your Sunday. Happy Independence Day once again. Thank you all.